Okay, hi everybody, we're back again. Okay, so today we have Yvonne, Jocelyn and myself, Roy. So we have more questions from the floor today. And the topic we're going to talk about, first-timer dilemma, BTO or resale HDB. So Jocelyn, let me ask you first. What are some factors when you're looking at a resale HDB?
I think we have to first consider why would you be looking at resale HDB in the first place, right? So for the last 2 years, we all know that BTO have been delayed due to COVID, constructions has stopped and what's not. So because of that, the resale HDB prices has been a little bit crazy once again for the last 1.5 years. So why so? Because right now resale HDB has a shorter waiting time. So instead of waiting for a BTO for 5 to 7 years, which now actually got delayed, I can almost get it immediately. So after HDB completion, if the owner allow you, you can start renovation earlier, right? So we also have to consider about the income ceiling, because for BTO, income ceiling is a 14,000. But if you buy a resale, there's none, and that's why we have like a 1 million purchase price of this HDB, what's not in this recent news, right? So. And although there are many eligibility schemes, there also a need to consider who can buy a resale HDB. BTO, only Singapore citizen we can actually apply for it. And if you are 35 and single, you can only purchase 2-bedder, flexi, in a non-mature estate. So if I am single 35 and I want something bigger, then I have only the resale market to tap into compared to BTO.
Okay. So I think the next thing is a lot of people also want to find out. So what are some factors to buy BTO then?
I think a lot of young couples or rather certain elderly couple as well, when they actually right size, they want to buy a smaller unit. There is always something called first owner profit, right? Okay. So I am the first owner, and actually when I'm going to sell the second owner, I earn the first time. So the second owner, if I have to sell the third owner, I have to sell something that is higher than what I purchased, right? So that profit margin might be a little bit smaller compared to the first owner. So that is the first owner profit. And then we have to consider the renovation cost as well. So if we are going to renovate a resale HDB, it tentatively be more expensive than renovating a BTO because there's less hacking involved. Okay. And we also need to consider decaying list, because we all know HDB has something called decaying list. There is a HDB life cycle. So the older the HDB is, the decay list is more, your prices will definitely drop. So if you buy a BTO, you start from year 0, you see. You just need to fulfill that 5-year MOP period. Then you sell at the next high again. That's it.
Okay. Then we have another burning question.
I think the next question that we have is, right now with the interest rate, so many things happen in the property market, right? So now with the increased interest rate, so our house owner, which loan should they take? Because initially everyone will say like, oh no, I want to take bank loan because the interest rate is low. But now the bank loan is increasing, right? So bank loan or HDB loan?
Okay, so I think to decide whether it's bank loan or HDB loan, firstly, the interest rates matter, but I think more importantly is to understand that today if you are taking a HDB loan, you can maximum loan up to 85% and 15% will be coming from your CPF. So this composition is different if you are taking a bank loan. Bank loan, 5% will be your cash out payment, 20% coming from your CPF, and 75% would be the loan. So for example, today if you're buying a 1 million HDB, so if you're taking a HDB loan, essentially you can loan up to 850,000, versus if you take a bank loan, you can only loan up to 750,000 and you need more down payment. So I think that is the main gist that what everybody has to understand first, because that depends on your financial capability. Then number 2 is definitely the interest rates then. Because HDB interest rates, right, are fixed at 2.6%, whereas for banks, they have fixed and they also have this thing called the floating. So the fixed, I think is estimated right now, it's already at 2.95 to 3.08%. And the floating wise, it's still slightly lesser, about 1.6, which is about, is a spread plus the 3 months SORA. So it's poised to increase to above 3% likely.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you ask me, I think now HDB loan would be a good hedge against the rising interest rates though.
Okay.
But then again, you really have to consider individual client needs lah. So
Yeah.
you have to consider cash flow,
Yep.
how much you want to pay. If you are cash rich, of course, we can have to make the various amendments maybe, and adjustment.
Yep. So I think that's all. And then the
Right.
next burning question that we have is HDB resale versus BTO. What is the difference in the grants that we can get?
When we're talking about grants, right, I think firstly, a lot of people they have the kind of a misunderstanding that they have to actually pay back the grants. So, good for you to know that you don't need to pay back your grants. Grants are yours to keep. So the difference in grants is we call that in the 3-in-1. So usually we have proximity housing grant, family grant, and also enhanced CPF housing grant. So that is really depending on the distance and the different income category that you are at. Yeah. So this is mainly the if you're looking into the resale HDB, these are the kind of grants that you can actually get.
So basically, you are saying that resale houses you can get proximity housing grant. What about
Yeah,
BTO?
correct.
Can you get proximity housing grant?
Okay, so for BTO, right, you only can be eligible for one grant, which is the enhanced CPF housing grant. Yeah. So you can see that for BTO and resale, for resale you get more grants compared to the BTO, right?
Yeah, but partly also because BTO prices are more already subsidized by the government. That's why for resale you can see the amount of grants is more, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and then
I think right now there are a few fun facts that we need
Okay.
to know about HDB as well. With the recent new government measures that are coming in, there is something called PLH.
Right.
I have certain clients asking me, oh, PLH, can I buy XXX place BTO? So Roy, what's PLH then?
PLH, right? There's a lot of people asking about that. So the full term of it is a prime location housing scheme. So basically what it means that you need to achieve a minimum of 10 years occupation period before you can actually sell your flat. Compared to previously it's only like 5 years. But of course with that
Double the
saying, yeah, double the time. So but that only applies to selected location. So some examples for you is like Queenstown, the recent Queenstown site, or even the upcoming Keppel site. Yeah. Correct. And as you guys know, it also owners who will actually go for this housing scheme, they would actually be affected by this 6% clawback in the future if they were to sell away their HDB. Yeah, so that's something for them to note as well.
Yeah. So this 6% clawback will have to be paid to the government. And I think one more thing that we need to take note as well, this 10-year MOP period is also applicable to the following owners that is going to purchase that unit. I think that is important to take note.
and if you were to resell in the future, these people have to meet the BTO criteria also. Not just any random person can buy these houses in these locations.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so another fun fact that we have. So just now, to add on to what Roy mentioned, right, we have a lot of first-timer telling us, hey, do we have to pay back the grant that we are taking? So Roy said that we don't have to pay back, which is correct. You only have to pay back if you are taking a second subsidized house. Meaning, your first house is already, you have taken grants or it's either a BTO. And then second house, you are getting an EC or another house that is subsidized by HDB, right? Then that is the time you have to pay back your grant, which is also called the resale levy. And this resale levy must be full in cash. Yeah. So so resale levy, right, is also based not based on the amount of grant that you used to take, but it's based on the flat type that you bought. So if your BTO is a 4-room, then you're going to pay back 40k of cash. If it's a 5-room, it's 45k. If it's an EC, it's 55k. So that is a fun fact to remember. Yeah. Okay, so we have come to the end of our hot questions regarding the first-timer dilemma, whether it's to go for BTO or for resale. So if you guys have any other burning questions that you want us to answer, please input below in section
For HDBs.
or anything else. Yeah, and then we will discuss that the next episode.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye!